Ghostly tales, yet mirrors of human life. Hey everyone! Welcome to Encountering Chinese, Ghostly Tales from Zhai. Today, I'm going to tell you a story called Expel the Monster. There was a man named Xu Yuangong in Changshan County, a scholar from the Ming Dynasty period. Since the Qing Dynasty replaced the Ming Dynasty, he abandoned his aspiration to study and become an official, instead turning to the study of Taoism to expel evil spirits for the people of the county. Xu Yuangong visited renowned masters, diligently studied Taoist techniques, gradually learned some skills of drawing talismans to expel ghosts, and thereby gained some reputation in the vicinity of Changshan County. Upon hearing that he possessed these skills, an official from a neighboring county sent gifts and a letter inviting him to attend a banquet. When Xu Yuangong asked the messenger about the purpose of the invitation, the servant replied, "I don't know. My master only instructed me to earnestly invite you to come." Xu Yuangong had no choice but to follow the servant to the official's house. Xu Yuangong arrived at the official's house and saw that the banquet was already set up in the hall. The host treated him with great respect, but never mentioned the reason for inviting him to the banquet. Unable to bear it any longer, Xu Yuangong asked the official, "What exactly do you want me to do? Please tell me the truth and dispel my doubts." However, the official claimed to have no ulterior motives and continued to urge Xu Yuangong to drink. Despite this, he remained evasive in his speech, leaving Xu Yuangong perplexed. As they conversed, the evening grew late, and the official invited Xu Yuangong to continue drinking in the garden. The garden was constructed with elegance, but the bamboo grove was tangled and disorderly. In the evening, the tall bamboo swayed in the wind, creating a sinister and terrifying atmosphere. It seemed that the garden had not been tended to for a long time, with various wildflowers growing in clusters, most of them obscured by weeds. They arrived at a small building, where the eaves and corridors were covered with intricately woven spider webs. The webs, large and small, crisscrossed in every direction, countless in number. After several rounds of drinking, as the sky darkened, the host instructed the servants to light candles and urged Xu Yuangong to continue drinking. Xu Yuangong declined, claiming to have had too much already. The host then instructed the servants to remove the wine and food and invited Xu Yuangong to have tea instead. The servants hurriedly removed the wine and food utensils, placing them all on a table in a room to the left of the small building, their expressions nervous and flustered. Before finishing the tea, the host made an excuse to leave, leaving the servants to guide Xu Yuangong to the room on the left side of the building to spend the night. They placed the candles on the table inside the room and hurriedly left, showing a lack of courtesy. Xu Yuangong speculated that they might have gone to fetch bedding to stay nearby and take care of him, but after a long wait, not a soul was to be seen. Xu Yuangong had no choice but to get up, close the door, and try to sleep. The moonlight shone through the window, casting a glow on the bed, while the night birds and autumn insects chirped outside. Xu Yuangong began to feel afraid and found it impossible to fall asleep. After a while, there came a thud-thud sound from the partition, as if someone were kicking the floor heavily and loudly. Then the sound seemed to descend the stairs and approach the room where Shu Yuangong was staying. Shu Yuangong was greatly terrified, his hair standing on end, and he quickly covered his head with the blanket. Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and the door swung wide open. Shu Yuangong peeked out from under the covers and saw a monster with the face of a beast and the body of a man standing in the room. The creature was covered in long, dark mane-like hair, with 2 rows of sharp teeth gleaming in its mouth, and its eyes shining like torches. Shortly after, the monster bent down to lick the leftover food on the plate, and wherever its tongue passed, the plate became as clean as if it had been washed. Then the monster approached the bed to sniff at Shu Yuangong's blanket. At that moment, Shu Yuangong suddenly sat up, flipped the blanket over, and covered the monster's head. He held the monster tightly and shouted loudly. The monster seemed startled too, struggling frantically to break free from Shu Yuangong's grasp. Then it opened the door and fled. Shu Yuangong quickly put on his clothes and tried to escape, but the garden gate had been locked from the outside, trapping him inside. He had no choice but to flee along the wall, until he found a low wall and leaped over it. On the other side of the low wall was the host's stable, where the stableman was shocked to see him. Shu Yuangong explained the situation to the stableman and asked to stay there for the night. As dawn approached, the official sent people to inquire about Shu Yuangong's whereabouts. The servants were terrified when they found that Shu Yuangong was nowhere to be seen inside the small building. Eventually, they found Shu Yuangong near the stable. Shu Yuangong emerged from the stable, extremely angry, and said, "I am not accustomed to driving away demons and capturing monsters. Since you asked me to expel the monster, yet kept it secret from me. I had the weapons for expelling monsters in my package, but you did not deliver them to my place. Were you trying to harm me?" The host could only apologize, saying, "I did intend to inform you, but I was afraid you would refuse to come. Besides, I didn't know there were weapons for expelling evil spirits in your package. Please forgive me for this." Shu Yuangong remained discontented with the situation. He asked the official for a horse and rode away. Unexpectedly, from that moment on, the monster miraculously disappeared. Later, whenever the official held banquets in the garden, he would always smile and say to the guests, "Now, there are no more disturbances from monsters in the house, all thanks to Shu Yuangong." At the end of the story, the author has the following commentary. People often say, it doesn't matter if it's a yellow cat or a black cat, as long as it catches mice, it's a good cat. This is not an empty phrase. If Shu Yuangong, after covering the monster with the blanket and shouting loudly, could have concealed his fear and boldly claimed that the monster's escape was the result of his own spell casting, people would surely say that Shu Yuangong was truly a powerful wizard. Alright. That's all for today's ghostly tale. Expel the monster. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please also encourage everyone to comment and share more. We'll see you in the next episode.